All right, well, good morning. Thank you for this opportunity. We're really excited to be here today, and we're going to do introductions, but because we just did that, we're going to skip that part. One thing I think is really important for you to know, though, is we are a four-person team, and today one of our participants couldn't be with us, but I think that you will see, knowing Catherine Poling, her fingerprint on kind of what we did and how she's impacted this project and our idea of extending 21st century learning opportunities beyond traditional walls of a classroom. Something, Carly, Jocelyn, and I are here today to talk about an idea that we have or a vision that we have for WCPS moving forward. It really engages students to take ownership or empowers them to take ownership of their learning, and not only take ownership of their learning, but transfer that to their community and really making a global change or making a difference in their world. A few words from Steve Jobs.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
So if you ask us a question, are you ready to change the world? We say yes. Mission possible. And that's where we're at today. So I'm going to turn it over the next couple minutes. I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues, but over the next couple minutes, we're going to lay out a highly intentional plan for how we're going to make that happen here in Washington County.
All right, we're going to put you to work a little. You have an iPad around you somewhere. If you can find the Mission Possible bundle, there is a, you're going to, not the ones with the keys, there was one laying out. Here, we have one left. Okay, good. If you can find the Doodle Buddy and find somebody near you, click the Doodle Buddy. It's basically an app that is a whiteboard. I want you to picture an ideal student. Student that you would love to have in your classroom, an ideal student, a student that you would be proud to send to the next grade level, the student you would be glad to send out into the world, and you knew they would be able to make a difference. Picture that student. I would like you to use your Doodle Buddy and draw that student. Go ahead with your partner, talk to your partner too, and think about the characteristics of that student. What would that student be like? What type of a thinker, what type of a student? Go ahead, give you a couple minutes. Create your student. Add some characteristics.
I don't know if that's ours. This Mission Possible thing is before.
You're describing your ideal student. It's on PDF.
Gotcha.
You think it's one? You think it's bitches?
Okay, I think you get the idea. Even if you didn't have a chance to add a characteristic, real quickly, let's share out 3 or 4. Who has the characteristics of an ideal student? Jackie, share yours. Inquisitive. Very good. Curious. Matt?
Problem solver. Motivated.
Okay, outstanding. With Mission Possible, we believe that we can guarantee that schools will be full of these ideal students. We have to approach instruction in a way that will allow us to have creative problem
Okay, so if we want to include Catherine in on that because she played an integral part in the Island Maryland piece of this, and she understands. She had been an integral part of technology. All of you know that. So she's the expert in that realm. If you look on your iPads though, you can go on to today's meet, and we'd like you to participate in that today. The Mission Possible little bundle of apps that you were already in. If you click on today's meet, you should be able to go directly a link directly to there. It says PBL today. And then you can leave, we're asking you, or you can scan your QR code if you'd like. There's a QR code on the little tents around the room if you'd like to do that as well. And there's a couple different ways that you can get into there. But the bottom line is we'd like you to add during your presentation the response to the back channel that we just came up with, that we were talking about. When did school connect for you? And it's important that we'd like you to participate. You don't have to do it right now, but as we go through, if you think of something, you can add that at any time. And you should be able to see everybody else's responses right on your iPad there. So moving forward, why are we doing this? Why is Mission Possible important? Well, let's think about where Washington County is initially, and what Washington County is, and kind of what Washington County isn't as we move forward. I think that when we look at these four things up here, Washington County does do we are moving towards Common Core. Common Core is fully being implemented here, and we have planned instruction and meetings to help us understand Common Core better. We really want our students to achieve to be better with literacy, the literacy rates. If you think of our school or our county SLOs, and you think of what our school SLOs align with, I think that what you see is that we want students to be literate individuals. We're also embracing things like the next generation science standards and embracing ideas in social studies as well, so that we can change the format or change where we want our students to be as we move forward to be college and career ready. I think it's important that we think about how we're going to unpack the standards as we move forward. And I think it's also important that we note that we're already working to create Common Core aligned assessments. And how do we provide professional development then to look at those assessments and provide authentic instructional opportunities then for our students as well. And I think what you'll see as we move forward, the PD program that the PD that we're about to be able to provide to teachers is going to be able to help make that happen. Now, think about what Washington County is not. I don't know, I struggle when I thought about what Washington County is not. I'd like to say working toward level, actually. I think there's pockets of greatness in Washington County, definitely. I think if you look at any school system, it's like they give you pockets of greatness, and then you have your people that are kind of on the fence, and then, you know, there are some resistors and some more mediocrity. But the goal is for us to grow everybody. So how will we systemically meet the diverse needs of each individual student? I think we can do a better job of that. The pockets of greatness happen depending on what school you're at, depending on the teacher's room you're in. Effectively addressing the needs of 21st century learners, are we doing that? I think we're working towards that, but I think we could do a better job. I also think we could do a better job empowering our leaders and teachers to identify ways to solve these problems. And we need to have targeted and intentional PD to make that happen so that people feel comfortable and feel like they can do that. So that's kind of where we're headed in the next few slides. To bring that all together, Mission Possible is about project-based learning. And here's what will happen. It will strengthen what WCPS already is. The things that we already have in place and the things that our leaders and the vision that we have, there will be strength, but it will also bridge the things that we're working towards and the things that maybe we're not. And that's how Mission Possible is going to be effective. So when we think about the things that Mission Possible, that's our big idea here. What does Mission Possible mean? Well, I'm not going to read that bulleted list to you, but I think that when we think about the shifts of Common Core and efforts to prepare students for college and career readiness, we face a challenge. We need to shift from the traditional four-wall classroom to a more engaging, student-centered environment where students have learning experiences that are rich. Mission Possible is going to promote meaningful and effective instruction where students can really build 21st century skills and also have a PD plan for teachers to feel comfortable moving forward so that we can transfer all these great things we're going to talk about today to the everyday classroom. So we bring this up again. When did School Connect for you? If you haven't had this post yet, please remember that that's there to do. And we bring that up because maybe this is something that was a connection. We're going to take a look at a school that really works. And this school is from Texas, and the whole idea is, the whole heart of what they do is project-based learning. So let's take a look at what they're doing. All right, so I think they said 100% of their, 98% of their kids graduate, and they have really high numbers. When we look at percent of students enrolled in college in the fall immediately after high school, we've got some data that shows us that these are our percentages. And, that's okay, but I think that we need to make sure that we make a little bit higher. I mean, where are we going in the future here? And I think that when we look at this, I think that all the people in this room would say, hey, we could do better than that. We could do a better job at that. But how do we get there? That's what's really important. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Carly to talk a little bit about some background here. But where does the rubber meet the road, right? Where do we give you something that is worth you saying, you know what, I want to pick you. Why should we pick you for this? And Carly has a great PE plan already in place that we're going to share with you, and I think that you're going to find that it's worthwhile.
Okay, it's going to connect over to my, there it is, to my iPad. If you can, in your bundle, your Mission Possible bundle, if you can find the iTunes U, that was what Catherine spoke about earlier, the I Learn Maryland iTunes U course. We actually have an iTunes U course already created, ready to go. It can be rolled out tomorrow. So if you go ahead and touch the project-based learning course, this is what you will see. And I'm going to just take you through briefly. There is a lot of information in this course. You will not want to go through all of it. We won't have time. But I do want to show you just a few things. When you start, the way this works, the post, if you're not where I am, if you hit the tab on the side that says post, that will help you see where I am. We start off with why PBL, and you're going to see an introduction where I have the Doodle Buddy. I also have the Today's Meet, so I do have interaction involved in this course. The way an iTunes U course operates is you can use it the way it makes sense to you. You can allow teachers to tap into it, come back and discuss it. You can use the course right here in front of everybody as a projector. There's flexibility. It's a 21st century approach to professional development. If you go to the Getting Started tab, you will see various articles and the essential components. If you, the judges actually, if you would take a second, judges, in your green folder, and you would pull out this for me, open it up, you will see, and I'll pass it around. Will you read one of the elements, please? Revision and reflection. Pass it to somebody. Read another element. Any of those.
In-depth inquiry.
In-depth inquiry. Having students make inquiry. Very good. Yes. Stop it. Green.
Project-based learning.
That's what project. That's our thing. Is there another
Yeah,
element?
sorry. No, I'm sorry. I just caught it and read it. Driving question.
Very good. Driving question. One of the essential elements. I'll just read through them really quickly. Public audience. You did great. Thank you. Public audience. In-depth inquiry. Driving question. A need to know. Voice and choice. Revision and reflection. And all of that is umbrellaed under 21st century skills. And one of the most important elements of project-based learning, significant content. We are not asking students to just come up with something that they want to change the world. All of these PBLs must be grounded in significant content, which pulls us back to what Mike was speaking of earlier, unpacking the standards and building on what we're already doing as a county to move our students forward. So if you, so there are articles that will help teach everybody these elements. And unfortunately, that can't pop out of the iPad, so that is not there. Planning and preparation. You're going to notice if you touch that tab, we actually have unpacking standards. If you touch that, there's the actual document most of our teachers are using. I know all elementary teachers are, and then I believe last week the secondary LTs were exposed to the unpacking process as well. This is a common practice now in Washington County. It will allow the teachers to understand the standards so that they can use that significant content to teach students important learning. All you have to do is tap right back into the iTunes U course. Managing the project. Again, we don't have a lot of time, but if you touch that tab, you will see there's project calendar, there's scaffolding, there's roles. This is interesting. There's a lot of approaches to PBL, but what's cool cool about a PBL usually is the students take on a role. And you can do that based on their strengths and their interests, or you can do that on things that they want to improve and grow on. So things like being a key communicator, being the lead builder. And you can see there's already responsibilities. They will be responsible for important learning during this PBL. The lead investigator, the lead designer. These are just ideas. There's all kinds of resources embedded on this course that will allow teachers to choose the roles that make sense for their students. Reflecting and perfecting. You will notice that there are rubrics already embedded, a variety of rubrics. Rubrics on teamwork, rubrics on collaboration, rubrics on creativity. Obviously, the teachers will be creating content rubrics based on the content that they have unpacked and the significant learning that will take place. There's actually checklists, and if you go, this is just a web link. So basically what iTunes U allows you to do is embed all the videos. Instead of searching all over the place, wondering where everything is, it's all ready for the teachers at their fingertips. So this is an example of a website that takes you to checklists that are aligned to PBL, but also you can see there's writing, science, oral, multimedia. So there's a variety of ways that you can continue to assess students along the way. Sharing your project, again, one of the essential elements of PBL is that public audience. That's the piece that Mission Possible is going to allow students to be able to do. We're going to give them an audience for their work. Additional resources are there, and then the Mission Possible, this takes them actually to our Weebly, which is also on your iPad, and we'll hear more about this later. I did want to say one more thing about iTunes U before I pass it on. The Getting Started page, I actually have, on the YPBL, there's an actual PD plan. This has a driving question, which is the way PBLs are supposed to start. So how can we design meaningful and effective projects where students learn significant content, build 21st century skills, and impact others beyond our four walls? That's the driving question for the PD that the teachers will receive. And then you'll see the opening. And then this focus question down the side, how do we get started? How do we plan projects? How do we manage? All of those things will be things they will learn throughout the course. You can give them this in a Google Doc. They can collaborate. They can add some ideas. Really, you could do this professional development through Jigsaw it. You could do it over 1 or 2 CFITs. And then you could have teachers actually using PBL in their classroom, revising, tuning, and using those tools to allow them to improve it and make it even better. So everything they need is already there in the iTunes course. And I'm literally going to jump right in there. Are you ready to go for something? So how are we going to do this? Carly already stated and Mike shared, we're ready to go. We could start tomorrow. And so an overview of how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this in Washington County? And so all of you, and in your green package, judges, you have the executive summary report, which kind of it talks about our phases. How are we going to phase this in? Phase 1 talks about building capacity. And Carly just shared the iTunes U. Catherine, in her voiceover, shared the iLearn Maryland. We have to build capacity. We talk about that all the time. Professional development, teachers, for leaders, for everyone, through a 21st century approach. The PD will be done in a 21st century way, modeling what we want to happen for our students as well. Phase 2 talks about implementation. And it talks about we want to change the world. We want the kids to change the world, which goes back to the very intro of what we talked about. Beyond the 4 walls of the classroom, it will be. And that is our principle. We will engage students in authentic, common core-based, problem-based, authentic learning experiences to get them to engage in the student-centered learning. Phase 3 is about proposals. How do we do this? Carly shared a quick clip, and it's on your app bundle of our Weebly page that we've created. On that Weebly, everything is already there. You go to the Weebly site. We have a rubric for the proposals that the groups of students or classes of students would submit their proposal of how they want to, what they want to do, what their passion is, and their learning will connect directly to that. We will have a panel of judges that will read through the proposals and select the winner. So that's our phase 3. Again, the Mission Possible Weebly site, which is kind of the central place of housing all of our things to engage in, It includes everything. We have a blog on there, which is for teachers, students, anyone that can get on to interact and blog and talk to each other in an interactive way. There's videos on there. The video we showed earlier, everything that we have shown is on there, and it's very inspirational. We have the description of our Mission Possible. We have the proposal is there and can be electronically submitted. Lastly, phase 4 is about the call to action. And this is, again, very key to our project, that we will give students the ability that submit a proposal to have an authentic audience. We will have it posted on the Washington County website, Facebook's account. We will get things out so that they can have an authentic audience and get support of what they're doing. An opportunity for them to go global, which is another big thing that we're pushing for in the 21st century. We do want Washington County students to change the world. We know we can. We just have to find the right avenues to be able to get them there. Lastly, our end result is that everyone that participates in this is a winner. Everyone's a winner because they get the opportunity to engage in authentic learning experiences, moves them forward to the 21st century, makes the students prepared for college and careers. They get to be involved in that in an authentic way. However, the selection panel of judges will choose a winner, and the winner will receive a collaboration station for their school. And again, I think on the sheet that everyone has, the summary, if you turn it over on the back, this is what our money would be budgeted for, to give the winner's school this collaboration station. So you can see all the things that would involve, how that would look. And having that in your school would enable them a way to continue this collaborative, authentic learning experience approach and connecting them globally. That is our plan. Again, I will reiterate, we are ready to implement tomorrow. Everything is ready to go. Lastly, I'm going to turn to Mike to close out the rest.
Okay, so, in the interest of time, 30 minutes goes by pretty quickly when you have something like that. What I got, 2 minutes?
You have 2 minutes.
Okay, so, here's where we are. I mean, you're going to see everybody. I look around in this room and I see all the people who are in here. The ones that I know and the ones that I don't really know, their names precede them as people who are great leaders. And I'm sure that in the next 4 presentations, you're going to see some really good stuff. I want you to think about, was it a disadvantage going first? I don't think so. The Mission Possible idea finally gets us to get under an umbrella of all the things we're already doing and kind of bring that stuff all together, but provide a professional development plan that gets teachers ready to take this leap. And what's great about it is it's a 21st century tool. I mean, we're not asking them to sit and get. We're telling them that we're giving you a tool on iTunes University that you can go to anytime you want. We can collaborate, use it however you want to use it. And at the end of the day, we think that if you're going to move people and you're going to make people be able to make this leap into Common Core and into this next generation of learning, you need to do a couple things. You need to, sorry, I can be a little long-winded, so I gotta condense. We think that to move people, period, you got to engage them, you got to explore them, you got to communicate with them, you got to empower them, and then you have to launch them. And all of those things are inside what's happening here. We're engaging teachers in meaningful PD. We're asking them to explore what their needs are by giving them the opportunity to choose and pick what they want to do. And then beyond that, we're communicating by getting them with principals, talking about it in the council meetings, and then after we talk about it with them, we take it to the lead teachers, and then we can take it back so we're effectively communicating with everybody with the